Have you ever sat at the dinner table, looking at a piece of fish on your plate, and thought, this has to be healthy, right? After all, fish has always been marketed as one of the healthiest foods in the world. Doctors recommend it, magazines celebrate it, and entire cultures thrive on it. But what if I told you that not all fish are created equal, and that some of the very fish you thought were healing your body may actually be silently damaging your brain, your heart, and even shortening your lifespan? Today, we're going to uncover the 4 worst fish you should absolutely avoid, no matter your age, followed by the 4 best fish that can transform your health, foods that support your memory, your energy, your joints, and even your mood. This is not just about avoiding toxins. It's about choosing fish that actually fight inflammation, nourish your cells, and help your body age gracefully. And if you stay until the very end, I'll also share practical tips on how to shop smarter for fish at the supermarket, so you never waste money on the wrong choice again. So grab a notebook, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which fish belong on your plate, and which ones you should never touch again. Crossmark the 4 worst fish you should avoid. 1. Imported catfish. Let's start with catfish. Now, if you grew up in the southern United States or in parts of Asia, you might be familiar with fried catfish as a comfort food. But here's the problem. Imported catfish, especially from regions like Vietnam and parts of Asia, are often farm-raised in polluted waters. Catfish are bottom feeders. They eat whatever sinks to the bottom of rivers and ponds. That means they naturally accumulate toxins, heavy metals, and waste. And when these fish are raised in overcrowded ponds, farmers often rely on antibiotics and cheap feed made of soy and corn to keep them alive. Think about it. A fish that's supposed to thrive in clean rivers is instead trapped in murky ponds, eating feed that has nothing to do with its natural diet. What ends up on your plate? A piece of meat that may look harmless but can be loaded with contaminants. Studies have found high levels of industrial chemicals in imported catfish. Over time, these chemicals can strain your liver, weaken your immune system, and increase inflammation in your joints. Now, does this mean all catfish are bad? Not necessarily. Locally caught, wild catfish may be a safer option. But the imported kind, the kind that floods supermarkets because it's cheap, should be avoided at all costs. 2. Tuna, especially albacore and bigeye. Tuna has a reputation as the go-to protein for gym enthusiasts, dieters, and even kids' lunchboxes. Canned tuna seems like a healthy, affordable choice. But here's the ugly truth. Certain types of tuna are among the highest in mercury of all fish. Mercury is a heavy metal that accumulates in the body and doesn't leave easily. And when it builds up, it can damage your brain, impair your memory, and even increase your risk of heart problems. The worst offenders? Albacore tuna and bigeye tuna. These larger species live longer, which means they accumulate more mercury in their tissues. Eating them regularly, especially if you're pregnant, older, or have kids, can be downright dangerous. Mercury poisoning isn't a myth. Symptoms include fatigue, brain fog, tremors, and even mood disorders. So, while an occasional tuna sandwich won't ruin your life, making it a daily habit can silently hurt your body. A safer alternative is skipjack tuna, which tends to be smaller and lower in mercury. But even then, moderation is key. 3. King mackerel. Now let's talk about mackerel. Not all mackerel is bad. Some varieties are incredibly healthy. But king mackerel? That's another story. This species is notorious for its dangerously high mercury levels. In fact, health authorities across the globe warn seniors, pregnant women, and children to stay away from it completely. Why is mercury so dangerous here? Because it targets your nervous system. Seniors who eat king mackerel regularly often report memory problems, tingling sensations, and even difficulty concentrating. It's heartbreaking, because people often turn to fish for brain health, but king mackerel does the opposite, it slowly undermines it. Worse still, king mackerel is often mislabeled at restaurants and markets. Many people think they're eating a safer species of mackerel but are unknowingly consuming the king. This is why being informed is your best defense. 4. Farmed tilapia. And now, the most shocking one of all, tilapia. For years, tilapia has been marketed as the cheap, lean protein. It's one of the most widely eaten fish in the world because it's affordable and mild in flavor. But here's the problem. Farm-raised tilapia is often called the worst fish you can eat. Why? Because of the way it's raised. Tilapia farms often pack thousands of fish into cramped tanks or ponds. To keep them alive, farmers feed them unnatural diets of corn and soy, sometimes even animal byproducts. As a result, tilapia has one of the worst omega-3 to omega-6 ratios of any fish. Instead of reducing inflammation like salmon or sardines, tilapia can actually increase it. In fact, researchers at Wake Forest University once reported that tilapia may be worse for inflammation than eating bacon. Think about that. People choose tilapia because they think it's healthier than red meat, yet it may be fueling the very inflammation that causes arthritis, heart disease, and weight gain. So if you see farm-raised tilapia on sale, do your health a favor. Walk right past it. Checkmark the 4 best fish you should eat. Now that we've uncovered the dangers, let's shift gears and talk about the good news. Because while some fish can harm you, others are absolute superfoods, packed with omega-3s, protein, and antioxidants that heal your body from the inside out. 1. Wild-caught Pacific cod. Cod is a humble fish. It's not flashy like salmon or exotic like tuna, but don't underestimate it. Wild-caught Pacific cod is one of the cleanest, leanest sources of protein you can eat. It's rich in selenium, a mineral that boosts your immune system and protects your thyroid. It's also low in mercury, making it safe for regular consumption. Cod is versatile. You can bake it, grill it, or steam it. And because it's mild in flavor, it pairs well with almost anything. For seniors, cod is especially valuable because it delivers protein without being heavy, helping maintain muscle mass without burdening digestion. 2. Sardines. If there's one fish that deserves the title of nutrient powerhouse, it's sardines. These tiny fish may not look impressive, but they are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, calcium, and vitamin B12. And here's the best part. Because sardines are small and low on the food chain, they have almost no mercury. Eating sardines is like taking a multivitamin for your brain and bones. The calcium in their soft, edible bones strengthens your skeleton, the omega-3s fight inflammation, and the B12 boosts your energy. In fact, sardines are so nutrient-dense that many longevity experts consider them one of the top anti-aging foods on the planet. And let's not forget, they're affordable and shelf-stable. A can of sardines in olive oil can be a lifesaver when you need a quick, healthy meal. 3. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon. No list of healthy fish would be complete without salmon. But here's the key. It has to be wild-caught Alaskan salmon. Farmed salmon, as we mentioned, is often contaminated with antibiotics and artificial colorants. But wild salmon is different. It's naturally rich in EPA and DHA, the 2 most powerful forms of omega-3 fatty acids. These compounds lower inflammation, protect your heart, and even support brain function. Wild salmon also contains astaxanthin, a rare antioxidant that gives the flesh its pink color. Astaxanthin is a powerhouse for your skin, your eyes, and your immune system. Think of it as nature's anti-aging pigment. Eating salmon twice a week has been shown to reduce the risk of heart attack, improve cholesterol levels, and support memory as you age. It's truly one of the best gifts the ocean has to offer. 4. Rainbow trout. Finally, let's talk about rainbow trout. This fish is often overlooked, but it's one of the cleanest and safest choices you can make. Trout is rich in omega-3s, potassium, phosphorus, and B vitamins. And unlike tilapia or catfish, trout are usually raised in controlled freshwater environments that minimize contamination. What makes rainbow trout special is its balance. It's fatty enough to deliver omega-3s but lean enough to be light on the stomach. For seniors, it's an excellent choice to support joint health, cardiovascular health, and brain function. In fact, the Environmental Defense Fund ranks rainbow trout as one of the best fish you can eat in terms of both health benefits and sustainability. Shopping cart practical tips for choosing fish at the store. Now you know the worst and the best, but how do you actually put this into practice when you're shopping? Look for the words, wild caught. Whether it's salmon, cod, or trout, wild caught almost always beats farmed in terms of nutrition and safety. Check the country of origin. Imported fish from countries with poor regulations can be risky. Whenever possible, choose fish caught in the US, Canada, or Nordic countries. Rotate your fish. Don't rely on just one type. Mix salmon, sardines, cod, and trout into your diet to diversify nutrients and minimize toxin exposure. Use the smell test. Fresh fish should smell like the ocean, not like ammonia. If it smells bad, don't buy it. When in doubt, go small. Small fish like sardines and anchovies are almost always safer because they don't accumulate toxins the way larger fish do. So, let's recap. The 4 worst fish to avoid are imported catfish, albacore and big eye tuna, king mackerel, and farm-raised tilapia. These fish may seem cheap or convenient, but they carry hidden risks that can slowly damage your health. On the other hand, the 4 best fish to embrace are wild-caught Pacific cod, sardines, wild Alaskan salmon, and rainbow trout. These fish are nutrient-dense, safe, and some of the most powerful foods you can add to your diet. At the end of the day, it's not about eating more fish, it's about eating the right fish. Choosing wisely can mean the difference between a diet that fuels inflammation and disease, or one that supports longevity, sharp memory, and strong bones. Now I want to hear from you. Have you been eating any of the bad fish on this list without realizing the risks? And which of the good fish are you excited to add to your plate this week? Let me know in the comments below, because your story might inspire someone else to make a life-changing switch. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with a friend or family member who deserves to know the truth about what's on their plate. Because remember, your health is your greatest wealth. And sometimes, the smallest change, like swapping one fish for another, can transform your entire future.